Hey guys, I'm Scott with Before You Buy, and we do review videos here to make sure it's what you want before you buy it. And today we have the Irwin and Klein multi-screwdriver tool. So let's see how they compare. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing. That helps our channel out, but also helps us keep bringing product reviews to you. Today we picked the multi-screwdrivers from Irwin and Klein. They're both high-quality tools. We feel like they've earned their reputation. So now let's see which one is going to fit your needs best. Right out of the gate, first things first, you can see that the Irwin is a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see how that compares. I'm going to jump over to this view so you can see a little bit better. The Irwin is almost, a couple inches longer. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. For tighter space, you might want that Klein tool. The price tags, to get that out of the way, the Klein is actually $14.97 and the Irwin comes in at $12.79. So the Irwin is a little cheaper, but coming back to the size, the Irwin is 11.9 ounces and the Klein is 7 ounces, 7.1 to be specific. And you might think, well, that's not that big of a deal, right? I mean, we're talking ounces here, but I mean, there's a noticeable heft difference in the Irwin. You pick up the Irwin and I asked my wife, what's your first impressions? And her first impression was the Klein felt good in the hand. It's kind of more ergonomic. The Irwin felt solid and hefty, but pretty heavy. So that was her honest opinion, and I feel the same way. I pick up the Irwin and it's like, wow, this is noticeably heavy. But it's because it has some features in there, right? So let's jump back so you can see those features. Let's start with the Irwin here. So the Irwin, it actually has 8 different tools, but there's a catch. I think it has many more. So there's 2 Phillips heads, slotted screwdriver, square. I'm going to put those all up on the screen for you, and a nut driver. But what you can do here, you pull out the one, there's multi-levels here. So you got the bit, and here's where the multi comes in, because these are just your standard screwdriver bit. Well, when you have the standard screwdriver bit, you can put any bit you want in there. So now your 8-in-1 tool became into infinite-in-1 as long as you have the bit for it. Okay? Then this next section comes out. This one allows you to flip it around, and now here's your square head. And they even have the bits labeled. This one says SQ2 on it, which is upside down for you, but that's okay. And then we have the T25 Torx head on this end. So here we go. There's our third bit already, right? But then what you can do is you can pull out the whole extension there, flip it around, slam it back in, and now we have your screwdriver head, PH2, that's your Phillips, and your flat slotted 8 to 10 right there. Okay, so there's all your bits, but there's more. You have sockets, actually. You have 3 different sockets, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 5/16. There and there. These are all designed, so then they're all different sizes. That's actually brilliant, if you ask me. I absolutely love that. You can actually use different sockets as well as some of the most popular common sockets. But the Irwin also has, I think this is actually why it makes it a little heavier, it has ratcheting. Jackpot. So I'm a IT person. I like to do repairs of my friends' computers, family computers, my own computers. And I do IT for my job, my day job I have for several, almost 20 years now. It shows my age a little bit. But it's sometimes nice to have that ratchet as you're trying to unscrew something, right, on a motherboard for a computer or anything like that. It's nice to have a ratchet. So I'm going to come back so you can see the detail here. There's 3 modes. Little clicks there. You can kind of hear them. So forward, in the middle is locked, and then back, lets you go backwards. So that's fantastic if you ask me, if that's a feature you want. Again, this one's a little heavier, but has some features there. Let's jump over to the Klein. Similar to the Phillips, this one, or similar to the Irwin, this one is actually 11-in-1. It even reminds you on the back there. It does say that it's not insulated, even though it does have a rubber handle. So if you do electricity, please be careful there. It says it has pH 1 and 2, which are Phillips. You know, it has 2 slotted, 2 square. I'm going to throw those up on the screen. Torx and your nut drivers. So same type of thing. This one, you just pull out the little bit and you can flip it around. Boom. There you go. Same thing with the next size. You know, this looks very familiar, right? You flip that one around, but now you have 2 here. Pull that out, flip it around, right? And then you pull out the whole compartment, flip that around. This looks very familiar, doesn't it? And you have 2 bits there. Flip that around. 2 bits there, right? So obviously these have very similar type designs where you either pull out the bit, the next level, or the main extension there. So I generally, most of the things I use are Phillips. So I usually keep my Phillips handy, whether it's here and here. But one downside to the Klein, I think, is the fact that it does not have a way to put in your standard size bits. If you have a unique bit or a bit that you use often that is not included in one of these, there is an option to buy them from Klein, but it doesn't come with it. It's going to be a pain. You can't just use your single bit. So that can kind of be a pain if you ask me. So that might be one reason you may want the Irwin if you have your own unique bits. But since the Klein has so many extra bits, maybe that's convenient. I would say between the two of these, pros and cons, obviously the Klein's a little more expensive, but has the 11 bits and 3 sockets, same sizes of drivers, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 5/16, which gets me to the weight. So the Klein is a tool I would probably use in a situation that I'm going to be carrying it a lot more, because it is quite a bit lighter. So if I need a screwdriver on the side of my hip, or in a tool bag, I'm going to carry the Klein. If you want a screwdriver that you can use around the house, maybe keep in your tool drawer in the kitchen. If you're like me, you have a tool drawer. If you need a unique bit, ratcheting, I would personally go with the Irwin. They're both very durable in my use. Ergonomically, the Klein feels a little better in the hand. Irwin has a lot of grip there, a lot of heft, so I'm not worried about that at all. And if you have any questions at all about these tools or other tools you want me to do a review on, please leave them in comments down below. And also, I have the links to these tools on Amazon. If you want to use those links, that helps give support to my channel, helps me bring more reviews to you, buys me a little cup of coffee. Only buy these if it's the right tool for you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.